There's a pretty common metaphor that's used in the three principles that is the elevator of consciousness. And most recently heard it from the relationship coach, George Pransky. And it talks about how you have this elevator of moods or elevator of consciousness. And up here, of course, you see more clearly, things look better, they feel better. And then down here, you're kind of in the dumps. You're like really struggling, you feel really bad, and you have some really bad ideas. And I think when people hear this, they're like, "Well, I want to be on the 30th floor." They're like, "Uh, 30th floor, please. Send me up." Or really, they think, "Oh, okay, that's how it is. Well, I want to control it. I want to control it. I want to figure out how to have the habits or the routines or the affirmations or the right things to do in order to be able to go exactly where I want." But that's actually a misunderstanding of how it works. And in this video today, I'm going to tell you how it works. And I'm going to tell you the way that you can learn to do this kind of thing for yourself, to drop your own thought. Because on the other side of your own personal thinking is clarity, is peace, is fresh ideas, is creativity, it's flow, it's connection, it's joy. And I want you to have more joy in your life. That's why I created this podcast. My name is Rich Life, and it really is. And I help the aspiring thought leaders, so coaches and speakers, drop their imposter syndrome so that they can have more impact and connection. And this space that you've stumbled onto, or maybe you're coming back to listen, if you are, thank you, welcome back, is the Rich Life Realization Podcast. It's a space where we explore the richest life possible, where we find that powerful magic in life that's all around you, that vibrancy that you might be missing out on. So today we're going to be talking about that elevator of consciousness going up and down, and I'll show you what brings you up and what brings you down. A lot of people don't know this, and I'll show you at the end how you can learn this, how you can learn to drop it so that you can spend more time up here in these higher states of well-being. So the elevator of consciousness, you people think, "Oh, I'm going to control it. I'm going to be the master of my own mind. I will conquer this this mental kind of puzzle that I have in my brain." But it doesn't work that way super well, does it? I think those people who try to do it, who try to force it, find that sometimes it works. It actually does sometimes work for them, but not all the time. And when it doesn't work and they're doing the right things, they are like, "Well, I don't have control." And I was in that space just a little bit ago, about a year ago. I was trying to control. I was trying to grip tightly and do all of the things to raise my level of consciousness, to get in the high vibe space. And I crashed. I hit rock bottom. It was the worst anxiety I've ever experienced in my life. And it was really scary for my wife and for me. I didn't know what to do. And I understand this now. So that's why I want to share this with you, because if you can understand it, then you realize you don't need to control it. You don't need to control it. And that can set you free. So we'll dive in, we'll dig in. Elevator of consciousness. Like I said, what up here, higher states, it's kind of like the higher floors, and it's lit pretty well. It's you've got maybe music playing and nice smells, and down here it's grungy and there's you can't really see, you're bumping around, you're struggling, it feels really bad and scary even when you're down here. And a lot of people think that, oh, if I'm down here, I need to work at it. I need to figure it out, and I need to really pressure myself to push myself up and feel better. Why can't I feel better? And what they don't realize is that they're in that low frame, and that low frame is a place of low thinking. So I think there's a quote of the thinking that created the problem cannot get you out of the problem, cannot solve the problem. It's an Albert Einstein quote. I'm horribly bastardizing it. I so apologize. But that's true. If you're down here, you cannot use that thinking, this level of thinking, to get you up. It just doesn't work that way. Like you are not seeing clearly, your ability to think is compromised. And what brings you up? A lot of people want to know what brings me up. What brings me up? Is it food? Is it this or that? And they think it's that. But actually, what brings you to a higher level of consciousness, what gets you back on the elevator, is only this. It is new thought from your infinite mind, from your impersonal mind, or less personal thinking, a quieter mind. That's what brings you up. That's it. So I'll repeat it because I want it to settle. So it's new thought from your impersonal mind. It might be a realization that I often talk about, or it is less thinking, a quieter mind. And I can tell you also what brings you down. Would you like to know what brings you down? Because that you probably already know. Maybe, maybe not. You might think, oh, it's the people around me, the low vibe people. I have to avoid them. Watch out! There's the low vibe person over there. Oh no! Or the wrong movies, or the wrong foods, or the wrong this, or the wrong that. But actually, it is old, stale thinking from the past. The borrowed, recycled thoughts that really are painful, that hurt you, that bring you down. It's either that, or it is speculation about the future. That can be like worry. worry about the future. Oh man, you are making predictions upon how you're going to feel and how you're going to operate when you get to that point that might happen and might not happen. That's what brings you down. That's what changes the levels of the floors. Again, it's either the old thoughts, the borrowed thoughts, or that future worry. And one of the best things that I've ever learned is that we are naturally buoyant because, when you don't have those thoughts in your mind, when you have that less thinking, hey, that's one of the things that brings you up. Awesome. Yeah. Well, that's great news. And when you're able to drop those low thoughts, because that's the next step. That's what everybody wants to know. Well, Rich, okay, I get that. Yeah, sort of, maybe. I don't know. I don't know where you're at. But they say, okay, if that we're gonna take that and say that's true. Well, then how do I drop the thoughts? How do I drop the thoughts? What do I do? There's got to be a 3-step plan to do that, right? Just tell me the steps. Just give me the A, B, C, and I'll do it, and then we're going to be good. But the funny thing is, if there were a 3-step plan on how to do this, don't you think we would have figured it out by now? Don't you think that it would be all over the world? That you'd get into the low mood and you're like, oh man, I'm in a low mood. Well, have you tried the 3 steps? Oh, I forgot. Okay, yeah. I'm going to do the 3 steps. Oh, I'm feeling better. Great. Okay. It's not how it works, is it? It's not how it works. So when I talk with my clients and I'm trying to help them to drop their thinking, I typically have to say there's not going to be a technique. I've tried all the techniques, remember? I've tried all the tools, the meditation, the qigong, yoga, breath work, cold showers, all of it. I've tried it. Affirmations. There's not going to be a technique. But you can learn how to do this, or I feel like it's a relearning because you knew how to do this when you were a kid. You would get upset and get all in your brain, and then you'd drop it, and then you'd just be like, okay, well, what's next? What's new? It'd be easy for you. But you've forgotten how to do it as an adult. You're holding on to thoughts and, oh, I need to really push myself. But it is kind of like learning something that you were meant to know how to do. So it's not like learning information, like the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Oh, I've got the information. Now I'm going to store that. Boom, I'm good. It's not like that. I can't give it to you like that. It's much more like learning how to walk as a baby. When you were a baby, you weren't taught how to walk. And you cannot teach a baby how to walk. You can't be like break it down for them and say, well, first you have to take this step and then this step. And then you slightly shift your weight and you do this and this and this. You can't do it. You can't do it. And that's the funny thing. I think people are trying to learn in that mode. something that cannot be learned in that mode. There's a really funny quote that says, if we were taught to talk and walk, how we were taught to read and write, we would all stutter and limp. And that is so true to this. If I cannot give you the three ways of doing this and really break it down, because really it would get in your way. You'd be like, oh, have I done it right? Am I doing it right? No, you're going up into your head and you're trying to figure it out. It is kind of like learning how to ride a bike, that you can't, you can only do so much of telling somebody how to ride a bike. You can't say, just describe, okay, well, you keep turning the wheels and you keep pedaling, and then you make the corrections with a steering wheel, and then they've got it. You have to get a feel for riding a bike, just as you have to get a feel for learning how to drop your thoughts, how to go beyond your thoughts. Because, like I said at the beginning, going beyond your thoughts on the other side is peace, it's connection, it's love, it's joy, natural joy that just swells up in you. That's what it feels like. And I want that for you. But I'm trying to say, how do you do this? How do I do this? And I'm trying to share. And I'm not, it's not like I'm, kind of like you're a baby learning how to walk, but I'm there to support you and to show you it's possible. Really, the best thing that I can do as a coach and a mentor is to model, is to talk and walk in front of you, is to go beyond my own thinking and live in my peace and my joy. And I do that most of the time now. Not all the time. I'm still human. I still get into low moods. What? Surely not, Rich. Yeah. But if I model that for you and I show you the possibility of it and I support you and I say, hey, you've got this. You can do this. You know what? Already know how to do this. You were built for this. Yeah. Then you might be wobbly, but you're going to start to try it out, even if you don't think you know how to do it. You're going to start to try it out. Try this on for size. Okay, I'm going to drop my thinking. I'm going to let it dissolve. And you can do this. You can do this. You have the ability, even if you block yourself and you get in your own way, you have the ability. This natural ability that you might have forgotten, that you might have just blocked with the power of your own personal mind, the whirling of your own thoughts. So that is the elevator of consciousness, and a little bit more about how it operates, and a little bit more about what you can do to to let go of your own thinking, to go beyond it, and also to be okay with being low, knowing that it is transitory, that it will change, not because you're controlling it, not because you're the one pressing the buttons, but because that's just how we naturally operate. That you will drop the thoughts eventually. You'll go beyond them. You'll be in a better mood. And then it becomes easy. You don't have to work at it. And in fact, that's the ironic thing. In fact, the less that you work at it, the easier it'll be. I know, a little counterintuitive. So thank you for joining me today on the Rich Life Realization Podcast. May you have the richest life possible, just this magical frickin' life. May it be beyond what you can even imagine, because we're only here now. We only have this right now. Thank you. And I don't sell anything. I don't ask for anything on here. But if you know someone that would benefit from this, could you please share it with them? I want to impact as many people as I can. So thank you. Thank you for the best gift that you can ever give me. And that is your time and attention. And may it be the best gift that you ever give yourself.